Hello, my honeybee hive. How are all of you doing? I'd love to hear from you, so uh, just drop a little note. Let me know how these readings are resonating for you, or just, how you're doing. I'm going to do a full moon reading. This is the third supermoon we've had in a row, and it happens to be in the sign of Scorpio full moon. So we're looking at some pretty intense emotions and or transformations. Some could be real positive, some could not feel very good. Different things could come up and become finally illuminated. Scorpio, of course, is a sign that, I don't know. The short version, I guess I would say, is, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And our human experience requires all of that, including other taboo subjects, right? Death, shared money, anything that's, mysterious or kind of that lies beneath, if you will, that lies in the depths. So anything having to do with psychology, things that we don't really talk about, the occult, and that really is just about, kind of like the study or experience of things like tarot. It's deeper. Astrology, that kind of thing. I actually don't know if astrology is so much in there, but the mysteries and the magic, of life, intimacy, sex, passion. So let's see what pops out. I'm going to do my moon readings, like I said last time, during the new moon reading, where I do a tarot reading for the collective. And then depending on how this goes, I probably will just stick to oracle cards, which are the direct messages from the oracle cards, for each of the signs, and or, again, depending on how long this goes, I'll break the signs into their elements and do, fire, water, earth, and air. So let's just see how this goes. Again, I always do a reading before I do a collective reading for myself, and it came out wonderful, so I'm feeling really connected. And let's get started. So I'm going to start off with looking at what are the moon energies, even though we know it's a full moon in Scorpio, super moon, all of that. What do we need to know here? Your hard work is paying off, and that has a new moon in Capricorn. When I saw that, I just instantly was like, wow, we are leaving, and or we have just left the karmic nodes. I talked about this in my last reading, of Capricorn and Cancer. And we just moved into, and or are about to move into, the karmic nodes of Gemini and Sagittarius. The Capricorn energy is sort of like the father, the builder. Saturnian, so tough love dad. And Cancer being the mother. as you all know, we are either, depending on what you believe, we're either still going through a giant shitstorm or we just left it. And we don't have to have political debates in readings such as this, but we all have an opinion. And to me, this card is talking about how we did do a really, on the positive side, collectively, we did come together in many ways and hunkered down and did the difficult things and the things that we're still not wanting to do, but we did it. And that is going to, I think, set the tone. If we can remember that we are building something new, it could set the tone for a positive rebuild. Yeah. And at the bottom of the deck, don't let ego get in your way. So that, to me, again, it means, or this card is saying, we're in a new phase that is important to recognize. It isn't easy. It's going to be difficult. It's going to, whatever we do will last a long time. So we want to choose wisely, not based in egos and our opinions. And I really feel, again, because we're in the Scorpio full moon, we also need to maintain a certain level of continued curiosity. Oh, my cat is going to throw up now. Continued curiosity and willingness to be open to new information as it comes out. Wow, I'm suddenly just getting blasted with all these interruptions, which again, as we're building, we might see that we're, kind of interrupted here and there as new information comes up or obstacles are thrown in our way. Oops, mistakes. But Capricorn is the master builder. So I will read out of the book at the end of this reading what this is about. But this is just instantly what I saw when I saw this card. Okay, so we're going to put it here. Okay. Well, so let's consult and use the tarot cards to see what indeed is this about. Your hard work is paying off. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. All right. Yeah. Got the Two of Cups. Okay, Max. Oh, I gotta pause this. I'm right back. Sorry. Just gotta pause it. Okay. Yeah, we're recording it. Okay, so sorry for the interruption. Obviously, as we all are learning to work on video, we have these interruptions and we get called away by our real babies or our fur babies. Okay, so we've got the Two of Cups. And we have, you can see that, the Five of Cups, okay? So emotions showing up here. In our grief, again, there was a loss, right? But we were helping and working in partnership, showing up for each other. offering caring, compassion, love, understanding. And that, was very healing in a lot of ways. We saw just sort of in many ways we saw, once again, some of the best of humanity. This could also be talking about actual relationships that we may be grieving, or that we may need to grieve. It's cups. So this is for me, this is a solid, it's a 2 of cups, it's a 5 of cups, but it's also a 7 of cups, which is it's really about options and choice, options, but also kind of your fantasies and your, imaginings of what do I want. And I think, we do have to maintain a very conscious and intentional thought process or dream or vision of what it is that we do want moving forward. And it really can't be about, the ego. This is a collective situation that we're dealing with. What all we're dealing with, again, I just feel that we don't know everything yet, but we have opportunities here. And while it is very appropriate for any and all of us to take some time to grieve and mourn, what we have lost, and we've all lost different things. There are 2 cups, right? In the last reading, I said if he would turn around, he would see the 2 cups. And he could walk across the bridge and have a new relationship or a new, something. This is the 2 of cups card, okay? So, he can mourn, or this person can mourn, but then turn around and pick up your 2 cups and go across the bridge, cross that bridge, that river, creek bed of sadness. Okay, so now what? Now what do I want? For some, I think this could be that you may have someone make an offer to you, for you. And it may not turn out to be what you thought it would be. And there's a lot of that going on too in the collective. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. My dog is driving me crazy. Max. No, go. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck was the Ace of Pentacles. A brand new beginning. Something to manifest. Coin, money, anything of the physical form, you know. This gate always reminds me of the World card. So did we walk through this gate to this new beginning, or do we take this new beginning and walk back out into another dance with the world, like leveling up, if you will, like we're going to create this whole new world? Okay, so what do we need to do? What do we need to do? What do we need to do? I gotta stop saying need. What could we do? What could we do? It would be in our highest, best interest for ourselves and for humanity. No. Okay. Six of Wands. And at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords. Okay. So the Queen of Swords, you know, she has been through a lot. And she doesn't mess around with the truth. She doesn't waste words. She doesn't mince words. And her truth comes from experience. And for me, that's called wisdom. And it's not like, this is my truth, and therefore it needs to be your truth. This is an energy of experience and wisdom. I'm sorry, of truth based in experience. It's not what someone else said. It's not what someone else tells us. It's no, what am I experiencing? And it's teaching. So what are we learning, and what are we teaching, and what are we saying, and what are we speaking? Whose words are we using and owning and regurgitating and spewing out? And I only say that because, you know, I mean, again, we can see some of the highest elements of humanity, but we can see some of the not so savory. And there's a lot of nastiness being spoken. I certainly have used a few choice words. But I think here at the bottom of the deck is like, let's really be clear on what we're talking about, what we're saying, what we're teaching as we move through this time. And so we can recognize ourselves and be proud of the work that we've done. Be proud of who we are individually and as a country. We can do it. Are we willing to do it? Are we going to do the hard work that it takes, that it requires? Are we going to look at our experiences and you know, what's happened? No matter what side, you know, you're on or whatever, like, we used to be able to work together better. But I like that this guy has gone through some sort of battle, right? And he emerges victorious. And he is, you know, riding on this, you know, beautiful horse draped in all the parade regalia, is that what I call it, or the finery? I don't know what it's called, but you know, he wears the wreath around his head, and he's got the wreath here, and the people are, you know, cheering him on. You really can't lead unless the people see you as a leader. So I feel like we need to be leaders. Remembering that we're not doing this from a place of ego, but because leaders aren't bosses, they're not dictators. They set examples. They lead, they make the tough decisions, they fight beside their, you know, warriors, and they emerge. It's not a king. It's not a king. It's not a dictator. This is someone who was in battle, maybe, and he's elevated. We can do that. We can be that. Okay. I'm going to get a clarifier for that card. Just want a little more information. So what wow. Okay. Well, that was fast. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, and the Queen of Swords even in all of that mess. So the Queen of Swords again at the bottom of the deck. Now look, we've got Gemini here represented. So again, looking at the nodes that we're now in, which is it's I think it's an 18-month cycle that we're going to be in this. I think something like that, 18 months to 2 years, something. And this could easily, this is a fire energy, right? So we could be looking at and seeing as the cards come out, you know, kind of this energy of, you know, from where we have come, the South Node is Sagittarius, and we're moving into Gemini North Node energy. So we need to be truthful, not mincing words, not, double messages, learning and teaching, student and teacher. You know, they're very curious, quick-minded. It is a curious, quick-minded energy, but it can be trickstery and double speak and all of that. And we need to leave that behind, right? And we need to leave self-righteousness behind. And we need to be more, you know, open, like I said, to that more learning dynamic. But the clarifier was the Hermit. Okay. The one who in his journey recognizes that there are certain challenges in the journey of life and mysteries in the journey of life. And we're not just here for ourselves, there's more. And he goes to the mountain and he gains wisdom and he spends time in meditation and he's really, yeah, we've got like his little cloak has showing Jupiter, which that energy is really present around right now too. Jupiter with, yeah, anyway. So, you know, and the Hermit goes up and he learns all these things and he comes down, he's wise, and he comes down with his little lantern. And you know, this represents like his wisdom and what he's learned, and he's connected to source, and he brings it down and he becomes, you know, a teacher, a leader, a guru, of life. It's kind of like he kind of gets like the oneness. Whatever this battle is about for you personally, or if we're talking collectively, in Honeybee Tarot, the origins of Honeybee Tarot is for me as a Virgo. I have been there. I have my own understanding that we are all connected. And that's my why, is to be a part of the collective voice of healers that are, you know, hoping to teach and spread this message through their own battles and wisdom gained through experience. And it has not been easy. So think about how that resonates for you. I am going to apologize for the glare that I'm noticing on my cards. Honeybee Tarot is a fairly new channel, and I just got one of those ring lights, and I don't know if I like it any better than my lamp set on a pedestal with the lampshade off of it, but it really is giving me a lot of glare. So I'm going to I'm going to pause this and push that back a little bit. Okay, let's see if that helps at all. Okay, so we looked at, you know, sort of the to do, what to do. Take some time to go within, meditate. How do you want to lead? How do you want to move forward? What do you want to put out there in the world? To do your part. And really dig into the shadow. You know, dig into your inner shadow like, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how angry I have become during this thing. And I have had to dig deep into my shadow, you know, like what am I seeing in people that exist within me? And it's just a whole other ball of wax, but for discussion, you know, shadow stuff. But oh, and here we go. Scorpio, the bottom of the deck, the death card. Okay, remember, Scorpio deals with all of the elements of life. You cannot have life and not expect death to be a part of that. And from death comes new life. If you look at this card, you can see the different ways people are responding as death moves through, right? You've got, let me see, the religious leader, right? Praying. You've got this person is actually looks dead. You've got this woman here who is so afraid or in denial, doesn't want to look upon the writer. And you've got this child spirit, like, it's kind of watching this all happen. In between the two towers back here, the sun rises. So the card of Scorpio, the death card resonates to Scorpio, which is the sign that this full moon is in, and is very much about so many of the themes and things we're being asked to deal with right now. Themes and issues that we're being asked to deal with right now. Okay, yeah. So we've got the choice card. Two, another two. Remember, we had the Two of Cups up here. And now we've got the Two of Swords. Cups is the emotional energy. This is your mental energy and your words. Okay. With our little Page of Pentacles. Wow, I got this new, remember the hand that was at the bottom of the deck, this new opportunity to create something new, to plant that seed, a gift from God or spirit or the universe or life, whatever you want to call it. So let's take a look at this. And I am just realizing I did not put this down. Okay. So this is supposed to be this way. Okay. For me, the Two of Swords, she's crossing her heart, right? And I always see there's like this little dot that's right above her head. this band, this blindfold, sorry. And I call this a her because it's got a long gown and it looks to me like it's almost pregnant here, but this is in the possible outcome position. We may need to quiet all of the noise around us so we have time to go within and listen to our own truth and or to make choices that are good for us as individuals and in what we truly believe, because we've gone and meditated on the mountain, that we really believe will be in the best interest for all. For all. We are part of all, cannot separate it. We're learning that now. So it could be that a potential outcome is a need to go within and listen and get all the noise and chatter like away and out and other people's opinions and influences and all of that, and be with self in order to make a choice or a decision. So in 6 months from now, we are going to be entering into a very important election in the United States. We're being given an opportunity to plant a seed. What do we want to harvest? Another option for a potential outcome is that we don't want to make a choice. We refuse to make a choice. We're not ready to make a choice. We don't want to face hard truths. And so we choose to block ourselves off and stay in denial. In denial and in, a very young, young kids, like they get like young people, they get their first little money and it's like, woohoo, go out and, most kids, buy. And it's all about me and it's mine and it's my money and, it's a young energy. Potential for that. But in general, I really just do feel that this is the outcome of all of this, is that we will have to make a choice, a difficult choice, that we will need to sit with and decide who am I and what do I want to be my legacy, and what do I want to plant moving forward? What seeds do I want to plant moving forward. Okay. So let's look at, let's see, what time do we have here? Oh, I'm already at 40 minutes. Just going to do elements, okay? So in honor of Scorpio full moon, we'll look at the water signs first, which will be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So what is a message for the water signs? Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. A message from the animal spirits. The Spirit Animal Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. Oh, just heard something. I did not address a possible block. What could block us from being willing to make this decision to vanity? Don't let pride get in your way. Okay, the dark side, right, of this card is riding on your high horse. But that's not what came up. But look, I mean, if we're looking at the possible block, we've got many cards here showing, like, don't let ego and selfishness get in your way here. Okay, vanity. Look at him. Oh, Lord bless. Look at this picture. I am the Almighty. You know, and everyone's standing around, drinking, looking at him. Isn't he fabulous? Oh, look at the buildings behind him. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm going to read out of my little book about Mr. Vanity here. Mr. Vanity. I need more, better, bigger. Yes, that will make me okay. For inspiration, we all say we will stop when we have enough, but there's never enough. You may be looking outside yourself for validation. Personal inquiry, and you can journal, you know, these questions. Personal inquiry, am I feeling disconnected from any people in my life? Am I growing away from limiting relationships? Key ideas, environmental tension. Can't make this up. Did you see how that card flew out of here? Living in illusion. Talked about that earlier. Self-doubt. Power to change. Lesser companions. Empty conversations. Keywords, faith, awareness, and transformation. The tenuous balance between what is true in our heart and what we communicate is reflected in aqua. Are you living and communicating your truth or just playing along? This may be a time of awakening to a new way of being. Be aware of distractions that may pull you away from the true you. Wow. Wow. All right. Need a moment. Okay. Okay, back to the water signs. We'll just get a message from the animal or the spirit animal oracles. I say that backwards every time. Okay, pull a card off. Oh, look at electric eel spirit. Look at that. Bring your ideas to life. Bring your ideas to life. What do you want to manifest? Well, let's look in the card. So my kitty cat wants to be known. Down there. Electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. Seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of electric eel spirit appears to awaken you to a big idea that you are meant to explore. Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration arises in you, electrifying you so that you can't wait to get started bringing your idea to life. The revelations you experience now are meant to set you on a new path, so do not be afraid to act. Explore, examine, and do not fear the changes that may come, for Spirit wants to shower you with love, success, and abundance that you hope to experience. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, and innovation. This is a wondrous sign for you today. And a message of protection for water signs. Ideas need to percolate as they rarely download in detailed form. Have you too quickly dismissed an epiphany because you couldn't see where it might lead you? Have you rushed to follow the muse without taking time to contemplate the meaning of your aha moment? Perhaps your dream will take a different form than you first imagined, morphing into something else that is even better. Spirit's plans are often hard to discern, but so more satisfying once they have taken over from your own predetermination. Maybe your big idea is taking more time to shape than you expected. Have you considered that you are meant to learn something in the process of bringing it into being? Commit to transformation and to learning any lessons this new venture will bring, and soon you will see that your aha was even more valuable than you realized when you first felt it electrify you. Okay, so again, like I talked about that, like just try to remain open as new information comes out, whether it's for yourself, like this card said, it's an idea, something that you've thought of. Have you taken some time to really sit with it and think about it and meditate on it? Are you allowing new information to come in your direction? But we need to do that collectively as well, as we are problem solving and learning where we want to go next. Okay. So we are going to look at Earth. Since we are in the season of Taurus, we're going to honor Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And don't forget, we have got that your hard work is paying off. Oh, I do need to read that card. I mean, yeah. That, don't I? Okay. Well, that was fast, thank God, because my cat is like staring at me. I need to hurry. Dove spirit, be peace. So sweet. It's got that little crown on its little head. Yes, babe. Just hold on. All right, dove spirit, be peace. 21. The pressure. With her peaceful cooing, the gentle dove spirit invites you to embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. You always have the power to generate peace within you, and the appearance of dove spirit is a reminder that today and every day is a good day to meditate, to quiet any turbulence within you as you embody tranquility. Lord, I need that message. Above, below, and all around you, much may be happening to distract you, but you are called to engage with it with the heart of a peacemaker, asking yourself, what would peace do? Can you agree to disagree? The peace you seek rises within and spreads out into the world as Spirit sends her messenger to remind you of the beauty of a harmonious existence with all that is. How beautiful and powerful is your compassionate heart. Protection message. However disturbed the waters around you, however troubled your heart, Dove Spirit is there to remind you that peace without begins within as you reconnect with Spirit through practices that awaken you from spiritual amnesia. Your true nature is as a peaceful child of Spirit, but how easily you forget. You're being invited to sit in the cozy, safe nest of Spirit. Soon the waters will become still and you will feel peace again. Be compassionate with yourself at this time, for all of us can forget that peace is always at hand, always there, gifted to us by Spirit. Become the peace you wish to see in the world so you can reduce any suffering, performing acts of kindness and radiating love. Dove Spirit also reminds you that when you see inequity or someone harmed or in need, I feel like this is really speaking to these two cards that we saw earlier. Okay. And we're all connected. Just let me start here. Dove Spirit also reminds you that when you see inequity or someone harmed or in need, trust that you have the capacity to bring peace through smiling, sending love, speaking a kind word, and listening with a compassionate heart. Do your part to be a peacemaker, nourishing compassion. Reminding others of the joy of harmonious coexistence so that they may embrace the Dove Spirit within themselves too. How lovely. Okay. Let's move into air. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Messages for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, our air signs, our air element. Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. 6. Lay a solid foundation. Again, remember, the nodes of the moon, or our karmic nodes, are moving into Gemini for the next 18 months, something like that. Lay a solid foundation. What do we want to build? But let's read from the book. We got this the last moon reading, new moon reading. Beaver Spirit is here to tell you about a power living within you that is born of Spirit, the source from which all life arises. This is the power to establish the sacred connection with the universal consciousness so you can deliberately co-create the world you desire. Know that it takes work, determination, and sustained effort to co-create and lay a solid foundation for your dreams. Remember this card? If, with Spirit as your partner, you bring the twigs and branches of your intentions and desires and spread them across the river of time, you'll be amazed at what you can do. You will find that you can even change the direction of the flow of life. You can the choices that we make, the seeds that we plant, are going to be what we harvest, and we want to be real clear on what that looks like. How we want the direction of life to flow for our futures and our children's futures and the future maybe even of all of humanity, of the world, of the earth. You can ensure that your world will be prosperous and purposeful, filled with love and joy, and rich with magic and meaning. That which you desire will come to you and remain sustainably if you build on a sturdy foundation. Keep your intention and energy consistent and deliberate, using all your resources and the energy of this wonderful, productive time. Have faith, for with Spirit to co-create with you, your success is assured. Spirit is your partner, helping you along as you change the course of your life in the way your heart desires. Message of protection. Beaver Spirit has come to warn you to check for rotten wood in the foundations of your dreams. Perhaps you built your hopes on faulty promises or wishful thinking that something would work out just because you wanted it to. Maybe you made choices from a place of unworthiness, hoping that once you got what you desired, it would somehow change you and make everything better, or you had to face the truth that it didn't. Very reminiscent of this, right? Or Beaver Spirit may be telling you it is time to accept things as they are and perhaps consider abandoning the project, relationship, or situation so you can make room for something better. Perhaps you need to go back and rebuild a solid foundation because what you desire may not be in alignment with what your soul intends. Beaver Spirit says you can always get busy and build something fresh and new if the desire is true. All manner of miracles can spring up from a new strong foundation when you remember your partnership with Spirit. Be clear about what you're building and why, choosing from a place of worthiness, well-being, and wholeness. Self-understanding and acceptance will provide you with the solid blueprint to begin again. Get busy now. Beaver Spirit says this is not a time to procrastinate, but a time to start building again, always mindful of the foundation you are laying, trusting that Spirit is co-creating with you. Okay. And let's see, I'm just going to put this here so I don't forget. And our fire signs, Aries. Leo. And Sagittarius. Do our fire signs need to know? Hawk Spirit, let Spirit be your guide. Let Spirit be your guide. Flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees both the big picture and the small details, observes the rain in the pond as well as the cloud, and doesn't miss anything. When hawk spirit arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from Spirit that can appear anywhere in any form. Listen to your intuition and keep your eyes open for synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. Synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. Hawk Spirit asks you not to dismiss the signs that Spirit is sending to guide you. Lately, have you been hearing the same word or song or coming across the same symbol here, there, and in the strangest places? Perhaps you hear a song on the radio with just the right lyric pertaining to your query, or you begin to notice uncanny billboards, license plates, or other places where repetitive numbers or words show up for you to notice. Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and connect with their symbolism. Spirit wants to communicate and reaches out again and again. When Hawk Spirit appears, it is a sign to listen. Message of protection. Are you noticing red flags? Perhaps saying to yourself, oh, what pretty flags, and giving them no more thought. Hawk Spirit has arrived to tell you to stop and listen to the messages from Spirit. Take the time to observe the patterns you are seeing and do not dismiss your intuition, even if the messages you receive are not supported by evidence in the physical world. If it feels illogical to listen right now, listen anyway. Sometimes you might want certain signs and messages to mean what you want them to mean, interpreting through the lens of wishful thinking, a projection of your desire to see things a certain way. Of course, when you do that, you rarely find yourself where you want to be. Take heart. Spirit loves you so much and does not want you to get hurt, but to align with Spirit's plan for your highest good. Listen and follow the signs and check your motives when you are being selective with your hearing. Right? And yeah, let's just go ahead and read. Your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. First and foremost, this card suggests a new start for you professionally. Whatever has been going on in your working life, this card heralds the start of a new and improved work cycle. Wow. Is work and employment like a big deal right now, or what? And the way we decide to move forward and we build this world is going to affect us, our jobs, our careers, our income, our purpose, all of that. If you're unhappy in your current job, this is the time to either renegotiate your position or look for something new. Whatever your question, whether work-related or otherwise, a new plan and strategy is called for. You need to take a look at the long term and think about where you want to be in 12 months or even 5 years' time. That will inform your best course of action now, so think seriously about it. Drawing this card suggests it's a time for you to be ambitious about whatever it is that you want to achieve. Now, just so that you all can have an opportunity, because I really kind of messed that up a little bit. To look at these cards and use your own intuition, see what pops out for you. I'm going to pull this down. Remember, the card, the vanity card, is the potential block. Well, I finished reading this. You can hopefully see that. I don't know. Drawing this card suggests it's a time for you to be ambitious about whatever it is that you want to achieve. Attune to the moon, make a proper plan, and execute it well. Okay, so we really need to sit and think and meditate, and then maybe start writing some plans down. Additional meanings for this card. So look at how this applies to your own life. You need to be more disciplined to reach your goal. Hard work will make your dreams a reality. This is a very good omen for study or teaching. And don't be too controlling and avoid anyone who is controlling. The teaching. Capricorn is the sign of ambition, building, and hard work. The energy is solid and rigid. The new moon in Capricorn is a powerful lunation that comes towards the end of each year and marks arguably the best moment annually to make a list of your hopes, dreams, ambitions, and intentions for the year ahead. Pulling this card at any time suggests that with planning and discipline, you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. Okay, dear ones. So on that note, just be well. Remember, you matter. You are important. You're so important to the collective. but let's all really get clear and focused and remembering that we are all connected, and every little choice point, every little word, every little action step that we take is going to affect the next step that we take, and it's going to affect the collective. And we want a really nice symbiotic relationship, because you cannot get away with just doing things for yourself and not believe that it's going to impact the collective and then come back and affect you. That's how it works. There is no separation from me or you. No separation. Okay? So be well, and thank you.